WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
Welcome to Discover Flint Township. This is Tracy Tucker, the Economic Enhancement Director for Flint Township. And this show is brought to you in partnership with the Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, and Shea Automotive Group. We're wide awake and leading the way. This morning, we are speaking with Heidi Zuniga from Financial Plus Credit Union. I think I got your name right, didn't I, Heidi?
Yes, you did. Good morning, Tracy.
Good morning. So that was, I wanted to make sure I got it right, but I'm going to have you introduce yourself and let everyone know what your role at Financial Plus Credit Union is.
My name is Heidi Zuniga. I am a mortgage loan originator here at Financial Plus Credit Union. I have been with the credit union since November of 2020. New to the credit union, but not new to the industry. I've been in the industry for 20 plus years and held multiple positions from processing, underwriting, and now origination.
Well, Heidi, it sounds like you've been in the business for a long time. And I was just wondering, what made you get into mortgage lending? I'm kind of nosy, so I just ask personal questions all the time to people when they're on the air.
Not a problem. The industry as a whole was pretty exciting. Helping people buy a home, that is the all-American dream. So I love to be able to assist, especially first-time home buyers. Also help people refinance to save money or do home improvements or even debt consolidation, especially with the way that the rates are today.
So, yeah, people need money for all kinds of things. So what types of loans does the credit union have, and do they differ from what others may offer?
Definitely. That's a possibility. We offer conventional loans, which we have a Home Ready program, which is great for first-time home buyers. They can qualify with as little as 3% down. We also offer rural development, which is 100% financing. So basically, they can get in with very little down payment and just looking at their closing costs. We offer MSHA, which is a great first-time home buyer program because it offers down payment assistance up to $7,500. So our members only have to have 1% of their own money in the transaction to qualify.
Wow, those sound like a lot of great opportunities for people that are looking for homes in the area. Are there any, you mentioned rural development. Are there any rural development areas in Flint Township, or is that more the outer areas of Genesee County?
Well, for Genesee County, it is more the outskirts of Genesee County. So Flint Township is not necessarily eligible, but it is the outer borderline of Genesee County that would be eligible.
Oh, that's cool. My daughter bought a house in Flint Township, which we recommend everybody look in Flint Township because, I'm from Flint Township. So, and you have your corporate headquarters in Flint Township, which we enjoy having you here. And, but one of the things that we saw was that sometimes you get a mortgage through a bank or a mortgage lender or a credit union, and they sell the loan to somebody else. Do you guys keep that loan, or do you sell it to someone else later?
We actually do service the mortgages here at Financial Plus, with the exception of MSHA. Because MSHA, they have the down payment assistance, they have their own service here.
Okay.
But everything else does get serviced here at Financial Plus. Everything is done in-house here at Financial Plus. and you will make your payment here at Financial Plus.
Yeah. And that's important if you're making these decisions because, these mortgages can be, up to 30 years, it seems like. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I know that you can get pre-qualified. How important is it to be pre-qualified for a mortgage?
It's very important, especially the market that we're in today. I know a lot of people like to wait, I haven't found a house yet. But the important thing is to get pre-qualified ahead of time to make sure you can afford that dream house that you're looking for. Another part of that is with realtors, they want to know that you're pre-qualified because that way they know what price range that you're looking for and what type of loan that you're looking to do.
Well, and it kind of lets you know what you should be looking for and what you can afford so you don't go out and look at $1 million house and get your heart all set on it when you can afford a $100,000 house, So I think it's a great idea to be pre-qualified. And if you get pre-qualified, how long is, and I think you give people a letter, and, I'm not a mortgage lender, so, I'm going to ask some probably pretty silly questions, but I think you get a letter when you pre-qualify. And how good is that letter? How long is that good for?
The letter is good for 90 days. And basically that lets people know that I've reviewed your income and your credit. If we go beyond that 90 days, your credit expires. So at that point, we have to update the credit report and probably update your income documents to make sure nothing has changed that would affect your credit approval.
So this is a credit report, basically, and it's a pre-qualification letter. Are there things that people should or should not do while they're in that qualifying process?
Yes, it's important not to take out any new debt. So don't go shopping. Don't, buy a new car.
Yeah.
Don't buy furniture before you close down the house.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. It's kind of don't count your chickens before they hatch type of thing. You want to make sure you can get through that process before you start making plans for the new house.
Yes.
Yeah. And when should someone apply for this? When they're looking at houses, when they've got an idea of which house they want? Should they do it prior to really going out and looking hard for a house?
I think the minute they're thinking about doing it, then that's the time to apply, because there are times where they may not qualify. There might be a credit blemish, or maybe there's some debt that needs to be paid down for them to be able to afford the home that they really want. So if they're really thinking about it, even if it could be 6 months from now, it's better to apply so at least we know where to start and where to begin. And that way, if there's anything that we need to do, we can be working on it during that time.
So does it affect your credit in any way to get a pre-qualification letter?
There is a hard inquiry when you have your credit pulled.
Okay.
But even if your credit report, expires 90 days from now, having it pulled again is not going to be a detrimental hit to your credit.
Okay.
Especially today, people are encouraged to shop around, but you really still have to be mindful of not letting everybody and their brother run your credit, because depending on how many hits, your credit score is going to go down. So you are encouraged to shop around. But, I would say shop around maybe 2 or 3 lenders, not necessarily, 10.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. So, when you're looking at a house and you're looking at all the things like how close am I to the expressway, how far is it from my work, you're looking at a lot of different things. And, we have a lot of realtors here in the township. We have a lot of banks here in the township. We have a lot of credit unions here in the township. But I think one of the most important things is probably to hire a realtor to help you through the process. Is that true, or what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I think it is so important to have a good realtor that you're working with. They know the houses that are hitting the market before we do. So I know a lot of people use some of the websites to look for homes before even contacting a realtor. But they know about those houses before they even hit the web. And they know what you're looking for. If you're looking for a 3-bedroom, if you're looking for multiple bathrooms, if you're looking for acreage, a realtor will be able to enter all that information into a system, and they'll be able to look for these homes for you. So it's so important to have someone who's there to represent you and help you throughout this transaction.
All right. Well, I know that Financial Plus Credit Union is a great community partner. They've worked with the township and some of the other areas surrounding the township on community events, and they've held events there at their offices. And they're actually one of the partners on this broadcast as well, along with HAP and Shea Automotive Group. And we've held a couple of events, like I said, at their offices. I know they used to do a big community event in December that was there. But they've been a great overall community partner, and their corporate headquarters is on Bristol, on Van Slyke, just north of Bristol, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so if people wanted to get in touch with anybody at Financial Plus Credit Union, how would they do that?
Well, as far as the loan originators, they can call in to the mortgage department. They can apply online if they're interested. We actually have, if you go to our website, there's an application that you can apply online. You can go to any of our branches and talk to a financial service rep, and they can basically take the member's information and get it to a loan originator that covers that branch if they're not directly available to speak with a member at that moment.
So Heidi, what is your website address if they want to get a hold of people, or if they want to visit the Financial Plus website? What is that address?
It is www.myspcu.com.
So
My
it's
Financial Plus Credit Union.
Yeah, so it's MYF as in financial, P as in plus, C as in credit, U as in union.com, right? myfpcu.com. Yeah, and I know that you guys offer online services on there. You can do online banking, and I'm actually a member, so, I'm not only a radio talk show person right now, I'm also a member of the credit union.
And we're happy to have you.
Yeah. But also, is there you have the branches that are we have the main branch, which is your corporate offices on Bristol, or gosh, why do I keep saying you're on Bristol Road? You're on Van Slyke, just north of Bristol. And there's also, it's not only the corporate headquarters, but there's a branch there, right?
Yes.
Okay, and they have drive-through services there or walk-in. Are they doing both right now with COVID, or is it just drive-through?
No, you can come in and do your transactions inside the branch.
Okay. And then I know you have another branch at Corona and Dye, which is next or across the street from the Flint Township administrative offices. And I think that's it for the ones in the township. I know you have one in Swartz Creek on Miller and Elms, which is close to the township. And don't you have one in Grand Blanc as well?
We do. We have one in Grand Blanc.
Okay.
We have one in Fenton.
All right.
We also have a new branch in Davison.
Oh, that's great. That's great. That's good to hear. Because, local credit unions offer a lot of things that regular banking institutions don't. So it's great to have them in the area. I also wanted to touch on, and because you're a mortgage lender and you're not the marketing person for Financial Plus, I won't get into a lot of the community event stuff with you today. Is there anything else that you want to touch on? Oh, I know what I was going to ask you. Especially with mortgage lending, it's you're always looking for a low rate on your mortgage. What's that looking like right now in the market?
I mean, right now, we are still at record low rates, which is so beneficial for our members, because what you don't realize is with the rates even being low like this, you are actually able to qualify for more.
Right. Yeah. And, I don't think they're going to go any lower. And they can only go up from where they're at right now, I think, if people are trying to wait till it hits the bottom.
And that's what I encourage people. I tell them I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know that they're going to drop any lower than what they are right now. Honestly, I never thought that I would see rates this low.
Yeah, I know. And I'm trying to think of what other questions I had about a mortgage when my daughter bought her house. That was quite the process. You basically have to sign a phone book worth of paperwork to get anything done. Is it like that with you guys as well? Or how's the process?
Our packages are much smaller than some of the other lenders. Okay. We don't have a lot of junk in there. All we have is what we really need.
Yeah,
but
that's good.
Yes, it is. We'll call them mini phone books.
Mini phone books. All right, I like it. Did now due to all the COVID stuff and everything's harder to maneuver, how are you dealing with that with the lending? Is most of it done like online with e-signatures, or is it they have to come in? How does that work?
I really leave it up to my member and what they feel comfortable with. I do a lot of online where I'm sending the documents securely to them for electronic signature. But not all of our members are, like the online or are savvy with computers even. So I always have the option if they want to make an appointment to come in. I'm glad to meet with them face to face. We wear masks here at the credit union and we maintain our 6 feet away. But whatever's most comfortable for our members, we have many options.
Well, that's good. I mean, I wondered about that. My daughter's younger, so she was big on doing everything online, and it was very convenient. But I wondered how that was being handled with people who might not have a computer, might not have the internet connections that are needed. So it's great that they can go either way with you guys. I think that's great that you offer the service that's most comfortable for them. Has COVID affected your processes at all, or what are you seeing?
No, not at all. We are super busy and we have full staff and we're just working away. I mean, our numbers are looking good and we're just here to serve our membership.
That's great. So I'm going to think about here. You've got, we've talked about mortgage lending. We've talked about rates. We've talked about how to pre-qualify. We've talked about when you should apply. So if people have any questions about this topic or any other topic for Financial Plus Credit Union, they are welcome to email Discover Flint Township at gmail.com, and we can get those questions to Heidi or anybody at or whoever at Financial Plus would be the best person to answer the question. But if it's mortgage, we're giving it to Heidi and we're going to make her come back on and answer it. What do you think of that, Heidi?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm here for.
All right.
One other thing I'd like to add, if I can, real quick.
Oh, yeah, we've got time. Go ahead.
We can lend over to the entire state of Michigan. So even not just in our Genesee County or our small surrounding, counties around us. So we can lend for that second home up north or that cabin in the UT. And we also have home equity loans and lines of credit. So if you're not looking to do a first mortgage, we also have options of home equity.
Okay. Oh, that was the question I had. So if you're working with your credit union and you're looking for a loan, you do need to be a member, right?
Yes, we do need to be a member. And I mean, it's very easy.
So
you just have to live in Michigan.
Yeah, just have to live in Michigan to be a member. I like that. So I know it's easy. Like I said, I became a member quite a few years ago. And I know you guys work a lot with the unions, especially since you're right there across from GM. And I think you guys have done some partnerships in the past with community events with them and their membership. And we, I don't even remember where I was going with that. Other than the fact that your members range, you have a large range of members, I guess I should say. You have union members, you have non-union members, you have people within Flint Township, Genesee County, the state of Michigan itself. So if you are a member, and how difficult is it to become a member? What do they have to do to become a member? I guess that's the best question.
So to become a member, it's really easy. You just have to open a savings account with us and deposit $5 in it, and you are a member.
Really? Wow. That is easy. That's super easy. That's super easy. So, well, we've talked about how to become a member, how to pre-qualify. We've talked about all those things. If somebody wants to get a hold of you and has questions about mortgage lending, how do they get a hold of you? Why don't you give us your email and then a contact phone number?
Sure, I'd love to. My email address is Zuniga, so that would be HZUNIGA at myfpcu.com. And my direct telephone number is 810-244-7356.
And your website address? Again, let's do that one more time.
Sure. It is www.myfpcu.com. And like I said, you can go online and apply online. You just click on the mortgage tab, and there is a button there that will say apply now. So it's very easy if you don't have the time to call in or do it over the phone, or, depending on what your hours are, sometimes it is easier just to go ahead and log in online.
Sure.
But other than that, I mean, we really do our best to accommodate our members, and I know for some of us, we're happy to take your calls after hours and on the weekends too. So that's
Sure.
one thing that gets misconstrued, I think, with credit unions, is that people think that we're only available during banking hours, and that is not the case.
Yeah, and I'd remind everybody too, while Financial Plus Credit Union is a great community partner, and they're our guests today. A lot of these questions apply to a lot of these answers will apply to your own. If you have a separate bank, obviously Financial Plus would love to have you be a member there, but we understand not everybody is. But the mortgage questions and the pre-qualification questions, a lot of that will apply to anybody. So we'll remind people of that. We have part of what we do on this show is we talk about the things that are happening in our area, and right next to your corporate headquarters there's a huge building going up. And I was just going to talk about that. That is Ground Effects. and it is a supplier for GM. They do the spray-in bed liners on trucks. And so that is a really cool business. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I'm going to sign off with Heidi and remind everybody that they will be back next month as part of one of the shows. So if you have questions that you would like Hap or Shea or oh my gosh, Financial Plus Credit Union. How I forget you're right here. If you have questions that you would like them to answer, you can email us at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com, and we'll get those questions to you and hopefully get those answered next month. So, and I know they have something exciting that they're going to talk about next month, but I'm not sure what it is. So you'll have to stay tuned to find out, or tune in next month.
We look forward to talking to you next month, Tracy.
All right, great. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us. Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye. So that was Heidi from Financial Plus Credit Union. We had a great time with her, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that are going on in Flint Township, and I did a little bit of a teaser with the Ground Effects building. So if you've been driving around the southeast corner of Flint Township, which is the Bristol, Vance Lake, Fenton Road area, you noticed a huge 100,000 square foot building that was going up on the east side of Vance Lake, just north of Bristol Road. And that is a company called Ground Effects. It's about 350 to 400 jobs that they're going to have there. And they're getting ready to open their supplier for GM. Like I said, they do spray and bed liners. They drive the they drive the trucks, the big trucks, over from GM to that facility. They go through, they have all this automated machinery. They are basically their test facility for their facilities that they're going to do all over the world, I guess. And so maybe we can get them in here and do a interview with them. That would be pretty cool. So, but that's just one of the exciting things that's going on in the township. We've got some other new businesses in the area. We've got some businesses in the area that have expanded, and we're going to talk more about those in the shows coming up. And don't forget, if you do have a question, you can email us at discoverflinttownship@gmail.com. If there's a building that you're wondering what's going on with it, just email us. Or you can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events. And, you know, I want to thank our partners, because without them, we couldn't be doing this. And that's Hap, Shea Automotive Group, and our guest today, that was Financial Plus Credit Union. And next week, it's going to be me, and I'm going to be joined by a special guest from the Flint and Genesee Chamber, and he's going to be talking about small businesses and incentives that they have. And then we're also going to have a surprise guest from a local business, because we're going to start doing our small business spotlight. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to try to get businesses in here every week going forward that we talk to about how long they've been here, what they do, how they're serving their patrons, and how they work with the community, that type of thing. So we're really excited to keep this going. I would like to thank everybody for listening in today, and I want to remind you to stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township. See you next week.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.